Andrea Spencer, Artist in Residence for Arts Care, and this is Mac, the studio cat. Hello to all our staff and service users out there and other visitors to our arts channel. You're very welcome to join me in our visual arts workshop today, and this is what I have for you. On the wall behind me and on the table is an artwork that was created by a service user group at Ballycastle Mental Health Resource Centre. I chose to show you this project because it uses very simple materials and it's a very simple technique. And I thought it's something that could be done in a hospital bed maybe, or if you are somewhere with limited resources. The technique is called collage, and that basically means, it's a French word that describes the idea of pasting different papers together onto various surfaces. And there are many different ways that you can use this technique, and this is just one of those ways. For this artwork, we used magazines as our source material. I'm going to walk you through step by step the stages of making this artwork, how we created it, and eventually this artwork will go up on the walls of the waiting area in Ballycastle Mental Health Resource Centre. I'll give you a list of the materials and equipment that we used, and at the end of the demonstration I will show you a gallery of images demonstrating details of the artwork, so you can see a bit more close up, maybe give you some ideas of how this has been used. First thing you need is to find a background paper to work on. For this artwork on the wall, we used this blue paper that we got from the Play Resource Centre. It was free, but I also liked the colour of the background rather than starting with a white page. This came from the inside paper bag, so it's just been opened up, and that's a nice brown background to use. Envelopes, old envelopes are another good resource. You can just open those out. Like so. I like these also because they usually have different types of backgrounds. You can get ones that don't have the windows in as well, so they are more easy to use. So there's a variety of papers there. The next thing you need, or the next thing we used anyway, just to make it easy for people to start with the design, was we used some simple stencils, simple shapes that gave people something to put down and draw around. So stencils were cut from cards, so I have some pieces of card here, and it's just a case of making a shape and then cutting it out. So for example, if you take the card and fold it in half, you can create some really simple shapes quite easily. You can use objects to draw around, which will help. But by folding it in half, you only have to draw half of the design, and then you can just cut round that. Like so. So from these really simple stencils, the majority of these designs were created just by drawing around the shape and then repeating that pattern. So I'll show you a couple of varieties of designs that can be created from these stencils. So once we had finished drawing our simple design, we painted in our background, and we used two colours of paint, acrylic paints. We used Hooker's green and we used turquoise blue. We wanted to just keep it simple and just stick with the two colours of paint, so that way then the colours inside or the collage imagery would then stand out well against the background. That's the design all painted in. Don't worry too much about going over the black lines with the paint, because when you add the coloured paper in, that will bring those designs back again. So now you just need to wait for that paint to dry. The next stage is to start choosing your colours from the magazines. So, you know, I have a selection of magazines here, all different ones, and I mean, there's so many amazing blocks of colours in these magazines. They're a great resource. So I just spend a little bit of time thinking what colours I'd like to put where, or maybe flicking through the magazine till I find some, you know, colours that I like, or a patch of colour that I like, and then I just start to tear those out and make little piles of all the colours that I want for each area. So once you've torn all your colours up from the magazine, you've got all your little piles of paper, you're ready to start collaging it down. If you want to, you can put your little pieces onto something like a paper plate, or that's what I had these little plastic trays for. You can keep your pieces in there, you can keep the colours separated, and that way if you have got limited time and you have to pack up quite quickly for some reason, like you're going to get your blood pressure tested, then you can stack these little containers up and move them out the way. So it's just a handy way to move the paper around. So the next stage then is to use some glue. I've got PVA here, watered down PVA glue, white glue. I find it the easiest to use. You can also use a Pritt stick. Over here. You might find that less messy if you're in a restricted place, but I like the PVA glue and I use it with a brush, and the secret to this really is just to paste the PVA glue down on the area that you want to cover, and then I use the brush to pick up the little pieces of paper, and that way you don't have to put your fingers into the glue, and then you just paste it down and keep pasting it down. So the technique here really is just layering up the pieces of colour, overlapping one piece over another, and you can put down as much PVA as you like, because the PVA glue always dries clear and it acts a little bit like a varnish as well. So it's like doing a jigsaw, but you don't actually have to fit certain pieces to each other. You can just overlap the colours as you go. It's time consuming, but if it's something that you like doing, then you can get a lot of enjoyment out of it. That's what I've found with some of the groups that I've worked with. So that's the artwork finished, and that's all I have for now. I hope you enjoyed seeing how we created our artwork for Ballycastle Mental Health Resource Centre. I look forward to seeing you at my next online workshop for Arts Care. Let me know if you have any ideas for workshops in the meantime. Next time I'll show you some other ways of being creative with recycled papers and using minimal materials.